Building real wealth is incredibly difficult when nearly half of what you earn disappears to taxes every single year. Think about it. You work from January to May just to pay the IRS. And here's the part most people miss, the part that keeps the middle class stuck while the rich get richer. The more successful you become, the more the government takes. It feels like a punishment for success. Higher income usually means higher tax brackets, surtaxes, and phasing out of credits. But what if that wasn't always true? What if I told you that the tax code isn't just a list of penalties, but actually a rule book of incentives? What if you could earn a high income, even a massive income, and still keep most of it legally? By the end of this video, I'll show you how people legally do exactly that and why the system actually rewards them for it. The truth is, there are specific investments the government actively encourages because they benefit the economy, and when you use them correctly, they can lower your taxes significantly while helping you build wealth the same way the ultra-wealthy do. Today, I'm breaking down the top 7 tax-deductible investments hidden inside the tax code. I'm not a financial advisor or a CPA. I'm just an investor who has spent years figuring out this game through trial, error, and hard-won lessons so you don't have to. This is exactly the kind of real-world strategy I share here on Sam Finance. Make sure you watch till the end, because investment number 7 is a strategy most people think is just for billionaires, but you can actually use it too. Let's get into it. Before we start, you need to understand one basic thing about taxes that changes everything. The average employee lives in a world of earn, tax, spend. You earn your salary, the government takes their cut immediately, and you try to live on what's left. The wealthy people live in a world of earn, invest, spend, tax. Income tax is based on how much you earn. More income usually means more tax. Tax deductions work by reducing the income the IRS actually sees and taxes. Most people think deductions only come from losing money, like mortgage interest or donating cash. What they don't realize is that the IRS gives extra deductions and benefits when you invest in certain ways. So instead of wasting money on random write-offs just to lower your bill, you're building assets on your balance sheet while lowering your tax bill at the same time. You are effectively double-dipping. Let's walk through this, starting with the easiest one to understand. Investment number 1 is traditional retirement plans. This is the most straightforward, accessible way to cut your taxes immediately. The government literally gives you a tax break for saving for your own future so they don't have to support you later. When you move income into a traditional IRA or a 401k, your taxable income drops immediately for that year. It's an above-the-line deduction, meaning it lowers your adjusted gross income, which can help you qualify for other breaks too. For example, let's look at the math. Someone who contributes $30,000 could save over $11,000 in actual cash taxes if they're in the highest bracket. That income becomes deferred, meaning it doesn't show up on your tax return right now. It gets pushed into the future, ideally when you're retired and paying lower taxes because you aren't earning a high salary anymore. On top of that, the money inside these accounts is usually invested and compounds over time without the drag of annual taxes on dividends or capital gains. That tax-free compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. If you don't have a 401k through work, don't worry. You can open an IRA on your own. IRA simply stands for Individual Retirement Account. All you need is earned income, and you can open one for free at places like Fidelity or Vanguard. Many of my colleagues even open these accounts for their non-working spouse, called a spousal IRA, or even their children if the kids have earned income. For the 2026 tax year, each person can contribute up to $8,600 to an IRA, depending on age. But here is where the wealthy separate themselves from the pack. If you have access to a 401k, or better yet, you own a business and can set one up for yourself, the limits jump dramatically. Employees can put in up to $32,500 of their own salary, but employers can add profit-sharing contributions of roughly another $47,000. That means a self-employed person with a solo 401k could potentially contribute close to $80,000 in a single year. That's an $80,000 tax deduction that stays in your pocket and grows for your future. And that's just the common plans. There are others like simple IRAs, pensions, and cash balance plans that allow certain high-income business owners to contribute up to $300,000 annually. Imagine wiping out $300K of taxable income with one signature. Now let's move to investment number 2, HSAs, or health savings accounts. In my opinion, this account is even better than retirement plans. It is legally the most tax-efficient account in the United States tax code. An HSA is basically a savings account for future medical expenses, but with unmatched tax benefits. We call it the triple tax advantage. First, you get a tax deduction when you contribute, just like a 401k. Second, you get tax-free growth while the money is invested. And third, this is the kicker, you get tax-free withdrawals when used for qualified medical expenses. No other account offers all three. A 401k taxes you on withdrawal. A Roth taxes you on contribution. The HSA taxes you on neither. To qualify, you need a high-deductible health plan, HDHP. That means a minimum deductible of $1,700 for individual coverage or $3,400 for family coverage. If you qualify, you can contribute up to $4,400 for individual coverage or $8,750 for family coverage in 2026. Every dollar is deductible. Someone in the highest tax bracket could save around $3,000 in taxes just by maxing out that $8,750 contribution. But here's the pro tip strategy my wealthy clients use. Don't spend the money in the HSA. Pay for your doctor visits and prescriptions out of pocket with cash. Save your receipts in a digital folder. I call this the shoebox strategy. Let the money inside the HSA stay invested in stocks like the S&P 500. It grows tax-free for 20 or 30 years. Then, in the future, you can reimburse yourself for those receipts from 20 years ago, completely tax-free whenever you want. You effectively turn your medical bills into a tax-free retirement account. Now let's step into more powerful territory with investment number 3, starting a small business or side hustle. This is where the game really changes. The tax code is written by business owners for business owners. Businesses create jobs, and jobs fuel the economy. Because of that, the IRS gives business owners massive tax advantages that W-2 employees simply cannot access. Right away, qualifying business income gets a 20% deduction through the QBI, Qualified Business Income Deduction, which was permanently extended. That means if you profit $100,000, the IRS might only tax you on $80,000. That's $20,000 of income that simply disappears from the tax return, tax-free. And that's just the start. Section 162 of the tax code allows business owners to deduct almost any ordinary and necessary expense related to running the business. This is how you shift your lifestyle. That cell phone you pay for with after-tax dollars, it's now a business tool. Your internet bill? Partial deduction. A portion of your home for a home office? Deductible. Even portions of your vehicle, meals with potential clients, travel for conferences, insurance, and even reimbursing yourself for things like medical expenses, education, or childcare can be structured as business expenses. Expenses that aren't deductible for employees suddenly become deductible. Even better, the IRS encourages you to take the risk. They let you deduct costs before your business even launches. You can write off up to $5,000 in startup research costs and another $5,000 in organization expenses like legal and accounting fees right off the bat. And honestly, this barely scratches the surface of what business ownership opens up. That leads us to investment number 4, investing into a business. This could mean buying an existing business, investing in someone else's startup, or aggressively reinvesting into your own. When you pour money back into growth, the IRS rewards you. There are 2 major categories here. The first is strategic asset purchases. Think equipment, machinery, heavy vehicles, office furniture, or renovations. Under current tax rules like Section 179 and bonus depreciation, many of these can be fully expensed in the same year you buy them instead of depreciated over 10 or 20 years. This is how someone buys a $50,000 truck for their business and writes the entire $50,000 off against their income that year. I've personally seen people with millions in income owe zero tax simply by making smart asset purchases right before December 31st. The second category is revenue-generating expenses. This is soft investment, advertising, hiring skilled consultants, improving your software systems, or researching new income streams. These are fully deductible immediately. By spending money to grow your business asset, you are reducing your taxable profit today to build a more valuable asset for tomorrow. Some activities even qualify for additional benefits like the R&D, research and development tax credit, which is a dollar-for-dollar reduction in your tax bill, not just a deduction. Now, active businesses aren't for everyone, so let's talk about investment number 5, real estate. Real estate is arguably the strongest tax shelter available to the average investor. It hits the trifecta. It grows in value, appreciation, it puts cash in your pocket, cash flow, and it creates massive deductions that can reduce taxes to zero. When you buy a rental property, you're running a rental business. That allows you to deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, repairs, property management fees, and travel to the property. But the real magic, the phantom deduction, is depreciation. The IRS assumes buildings wear out over 27.5 years, so they let you deduct a portion of the building's cost every year as an expense, even though you didn't actually spend that cash this year and the building is likely going up in value, not down. This non-cash deduction often wipes out most or all reported rental income, meaning you collect tax-free cash flow. And if you want to supercharge this, you perform a cost segregation study. This is an engineering report that breaks your building down into its parts: flooring, lighting, cabinets, driveways. Instead of depreciating those over 27.5 years, you can write them off much faster, sometimes in year 1. This can create a massive paper loss that, if you qualify as a real estate professional in the eyes of the IRS, can even offset your other W-2 or business income. Investment number 6 is oil and gas. These are more passive than real estate, but carry some of the most aggressive tax breaks in the code. Why? Because the government depends on private domestic companies to produce energy for national security. They want to incentivize investors to take the risk of drilling. Because of this, they reward investors with major tax benefits through intangible drilling costs, IDCs. These are the costs to drill the hole: labor, chemicals, mud, grease. These have no salvage value, so the IRS lets you deduct them immediately. Often, up to 80% to 85% of your investment can be deductible in the very first year. If you invest $100,000, you might get an $85,000 deduction against your income. Here is the unique part. Unlike most passive investments, like a rental property where you aren't the manager, losses from working interests in oil and gas can often offset active income, like your W-2 salary or business profit, without meeting strict participation rules. This is one of the few ways a high-income earner can write a check and directly lower their tax bill. However, these are typically for accredited investors and carry significant risk. Dry holes happen. So always talk to your CPA or advisor first. Finally, investment number 7, charitable investments. Most people know donations are deductible, but wealthy people don't just write checks to the Red Cross. They use structure. Here's the twist. When you donate to your own nonprofit, private foundation, or a donor-advised fund, DAF, the contribution is deductible immediately, even though you retain control over how and when the money is distributed to the final charity. For example, let's say you have a high-income year. You could move $50,000 into your own donor-advised fund. You get the $50,000 tax deduction right now in 2026, but the money sits in the fund. Inside it, you can invest that money tax-free. It can grow to $60K, $70K over years. You can then grant that money to your church or local charities slowly over the next decade. Advanced investors use private foundations. Inside a foundation, you can not only grant money to charities, but you can also pay reasonable wages to family members for managing the foundation's charitable activities, like running a scholarship program. This builds a family legacy of giving while teaching your kids about money management. There are strict compliance rules, and the purpose must remain charitable, but it's a powerful tool. From retirement accounts and HSAs to active businesses, real estate, energy, and charitable structures, the tax code is filled with opportunities. These are all tax-deductible investments that can reduce your taxes while building wealth. The system is designed to reward producers and investors. You just have to know the rules. If you're making good money but feel like you're losing the tax game, it's time to change your strategy. And if you feel like you're missing out on these forward-looking strategies, if you're just recording history instead of making it, that is exactly why you need to stick around. I'm constantly breaking down these complex topics into simple steps in my upcoming videos. So please like, subscribe, and share my videos so other people around you may benefit from it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.